Alright guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of We Believe in Film. This is going to be episode 2 of my daily walk. I'm your host, Timothy. You might know me from YouTube, Timothy Makeups, Instagram, Timothy Makeups, and of course, my baby, the Analog Talk podcast that I co-host with Chris Bartolucci. And let me go over this the first time you're hearing this. So the daily walk, 2 times a day, I go for a walk. I go for a lunchtime walk, I go for a nighttime walk. This right now is the nighttime walk. Now it is currently right around 9 p.m. and yesterday I was out here at the exact same time as I am tonight. But when I got to the spot that I'm at, I completely forgot the camera that I wanted to shoot this with. So I did get some good shots with the Leica M7 and some black and white film, but that's not what I had in mind. Now, I was going for color. I wanted medium format, and yeah, I completely forgot it. I've been carrying my Mamiya Flex. It's kind of like looks like a Yashica matte, kind of one of those deals. It's a TLR, it's a twin lens reflex. And hold on, let me get this shot prepped here. So it's gonna be 1/1/4 at 1.5. Okay, so yeah, I had envisioned this in square format, and I've been dying to shoot this Portra 800. I had purchased 2 rolls from the, I think it's called Boutique Lab. It's a darkroom. It's a film lab here in Tennessee. I'm not exactly sure where. I think it's either in like Spring Hill or Belle Meade or one of those towns locally here. And they have, it's kind of like my little hidden secret. They have a bunch of film cheap. They actually sell it at non-gouging prices. And I had picked up my first couple rolls of Lomo Metropolis. Sorry guys, you're gonna hear some cars and traffic and potentially people talking in the background. But I picked up some Metropolis, some Color Plus 200 Kodak, a couple rolls of Portra 800, and some Tri-X was my last haul from that film lab. And it was pretty cool. Their prices were super cheap, and it came relatively fast. So I highly suggest. I'll leave a link of the lab in the show notes here. But yeah, blew through those Metropolis rolls, and that's when I completely fell in love with Metropolis. I shot 2 of the Color Plus rolls so far, and definitely burned through that Tri-X. I shoot about a roll of Tri-X a day, so those were gone pretty quick. Yeah. So back to this shot. It's a truck. It's a blue truck up against a wall, and the street lights just kind of like kissing the front end of it. And I was like drooling over this shot, and I got it. I already have taken the first shot with the Mamiya Flex, with the Portra 800. That's back in the bag, and now I have my Leica M3 with Metropolis inside of it, ready to take a couple shots with that as well. Just because this was, you know, I'm obsessed with Metropolis. I'm currently putting together a zine of these night shots of the Metropolis stuff that I've been shooting. Okay, so I shot through those 3 first rolls that I got through the film lab. Then I went through a 5-pack from Lomography, and then I have another 5-pack that should be here probably within the week. It's definitely become my favorite film, my favorite color film, I should say. And I really don't see myself shooting anything else. And I mean, it holds up really well with shooting it at night. Hold on, I'm gonna take this shot. 3, 2, 1. Sweet. I don't know if you heard that or not. So the M3 is a double stroke. I'm gonna take another one. I'm gonna kind of bracket this. Take another one at 112. All right, cool. So I definitely got that shot. And there's a shot across the street. There's like a car lot across the street with all these cars lined up. I want to get the stop sign and this row of cars. I've shot that car a bunch of times. I'm sure you've seen it. It's this like purple car that I've been shooting a whole bunch. Want the stop sign, got the street light. Let me get this in focus. All right, we're in focus. Okay. So what inspired me to pull out the recorder tonight to record this was going back for the shot. Now, I'm sure all of you have had one of those shots where you were just like, man, I should have just gone back and taken the damn shot. And that's what was going through my mind all day today. I even walked past it earlier on my daytime walk that I normally do, just to make sure that it was still parked here. Now, this truck, I've never seen it before, so I wasn't 100% sure if it was here all the time. All right, sorry, this is gonna be 1/5, is that what that says? Yes, this is gonna be 1/5. I'm just not sure if it's parked here all the time or not. So I wanted to make sure that after I was done running errands tonight and eating dinner that I got my ass back out here. I did want to come at blue hour because that's kind of what I've been shooting a lot lately is blue hour. Let me take this quick while there's no cars here. I have been coming out at blue hour, like I was saying, and I just didn't make it in time. And I thought it was going to storm. It started to lightning in the sky, and I was getting a little scared that I wasn't going to be able to come back tonight and take the shot. All right, so that shot is done. Sorry if there's a little chaos on the microphone here, but getting all my stuff packed up. I'm gonna walk down the street a little bit. So yeah. We've all had that shot that we should have gone back for, or we should have took it when we had the chance. Now, I did take this shot with my M7 and black and white film, but it just wasn't what I had in my mind's eye, if you know what I mean. It wasn't the shot, so I had to come back tonight, and I'm super glad the rain kind of held off and the truck didn't move. So that kind of makes me feel like it's here all the time maybe, or that it's here a lot of the time, but that makes me feel good. So now I'm just kind of making my way back. Little cat here randomly. Ah yes, that's what it was. There's a Mercedes here that I got a shot of the black and white, but I definitely want to shoot this in color. The whole front end is demolished, so, and it's like ass up against this other car. This is gonna be a cool shot. So I highly suggest, like, if you're ever in one of those situations where you feel like you should go back for the shot, pull the car over, run home and get the camera, do what you gotta do. Cause it's kind of like when you know you have a big fish on the line and it lets go. That's a pretty weird analogy. Let me try to get this in focus here. I like the composition. Boom, she's in focus. All right, so other than that, let's see. I put out a YouTube video today. I put out my video on my zine Homespun and how I'm gonna go back and work on that. I'm gonna redo it. So this is gonna be a longer exposure. We're gonna put it on bulb. I'm gonna do 4 seconds. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's it for that shot. Actually, I see something down this way that I'd like to shoot. There's an old white pickup truck in the background. It looks like it would be cool if I could get that in the shot. He's in focus. We're gonna do 4 and then 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, I put out that video today. It's about my zine Homespun that I released back in 2015, I believe it was. You know, I was always super proud of the photos of that project, but I was always super bummed out about the sequencing of the project, like the order of the photos. And there's some photos in there that I wouldn't put in today that made the cut. And I definitely know there's some photos that I have from that time period that I would love to have in that book that I just didn't. I don't know, watch the video. It's gonna be a series. It's gonna be kind of like I'm just gonna guess and say maybe 3 to 5 part series. about kind of starting off with finding the images. I'm sure the next episode's going to be laying out the images, or, you know, making some 4x6 prints and deciding which ones I want to go in it, figuring out what scans I need to have, and hunting down all the Polaroids. I did a bunch of Polaroids for the book, and I gave a bunch of them away. I mean, it was cool. It was cool to give the Polaroids away for the rareness of the series. So I did 5 color copies of the book, and you got a print, and then shoved in between the page of that photo was the actual Polaroid. So I thought that was cool, and I know if I got that from somebody, I'd be freaking out. So I thought it'd be cool to kind of sneak it in there. I didn't really let it be known that that was going to be a part of it. So, I mean, whatever. You win some, you lose some, and I definitely lost some. But that's that. And I've got about 2 different projects going on right now. I have this Homespun project, and then I have another project that's these shots with the lomography. And I've been doing this long-term project where I've been catching people in embrace. I've been calling it hold. I mean, this project's been going on for years, where, you know, I see people giving each other a hug or holding hands on the street, down to even cemetery plots together. Man, it's such a weird project, but I started, now that it's COVID and I've had nothing but time because I haven't worked since March, which is good and bad. I mean, good because I finally snapped out of the funk that I was in, and now I'm putting all this extra time that I have right now into things like my photography and making videos and trying to get this podcast back up and running. I have a bunch of ideas for this podcast too, but I wish I would have had this go get 'em attitude from the beginning. I mean, I'm a little upset at myself for pissing away like 4 or 5 months, but man, the COVID shit will mess with your brain. I mean, to thinking about that you could potentially get sick, to being stuck inside, to being pissed at people for not doing the right thing. You know, it's just been an all-around mess for a while. And, you know, I finally just like dusted myself off, and I was like, I'm not gonna let this shit hold me down anymore. I'm gonna start going out and shooting. So I've been at it again. I mean, well, since I got these Leicas, I've been shooting nonstop. I mean, pretty much a roll a day. Shooting a lot of Polaroids, shooting not much medium format. My medium format shooting has really taken a back seat, which it's whatever. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun with the Leicas and shooting the SX70, and I bought a 10-pack of the yellow film, so I'm trying to come up with something cool for that. And I don't know, it's just been a lot of cool things getting on. But man, like just like that, I'm already back home. I kind of wanted to just put this little episode out there and let you know that if you pass by something that you should go back for, I highly suggest going back the next day or turning the car around and going back immediately. Don't let these things pass. I mean, there's nothing better than pushing the trigger of a camera and taking a photo that I mean, even if it doesn't come out all right, like I think personally over half the battle of photography is just clicking the button. I get so much relief and a rush from the whole situation that, you know, it's cool just to go out. Like, I've been banking rolls of film because I've been shooting so much. Like, my developing to shooting ratio is so tipped, and the scale is way off. But I don't know. Go back, take the photo, go back the next day. Just try to make a priority to go get the shot. Got a bunch of stuff to look forward to. I'm really shooting to do a video every Thursday on my YouTube channel. I would like to hit 3 out of the 4 days of the month, if not all 4. So keep an eye out for that. The easiest way to find that is going to the search bar on YouTube. Just search Timothy Makeups. You will find a bunch of stuff there. Every Wednesday, we have an Analog Talk episode. We've been plowing away with that for the year, and man, there's nothing more inspiring and better than just like talking to people, like-minded people in the community. Like, I don't know what I'd do without that podcast. So check that out. That's every Wednesday. Where you get your podcasts, you can find out Apple, Android, Spotify, all that fun stuff. If you guys ever have any questions, I'll leave it down in the show notes too. If you guys have any, questions, or you want to reach out, my email will be down there. If you don't feel like searching it, it's just timothy.makeups@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram. It's at timothymakeups. And sorry for this being so short. I will be doing full-length, in-depth episodes here. I have a couple planned out. It's just, shit hit the fan at the beginning of this year, and I just thought I'd take a step back and kind of let life happen a little bit before I come back full force with this. But I'm back, baby. I am back. So check out the socials. I'll see you next week. Thanks for tagging along, and keep shooting, guys. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to just reach out. And I'll see you next time, all right? Later.